This video will help to explain the nature and purpose of a PJP. PJP stands for Public Juridic Person. A public juridic person is a term the Church uses for an entity established under canon law, that is, church law, to perform a specific function, conducting apostolic works in the name of the Catholic Church. Canon law refers to the systems of laws and legal principles which underpin the operation of the Catholic Church. The most common PJPs are dioceses, parishes, and religious orders. Good Samaritan Education is referred to as a ministerial PJP because its purpose is to conduct a specific ministry. Ministerial PJPs in Australia work in health, aged care, community service, education, or a combination of these. There are a growing number of new PJPs in Australia. You may recognise some of the names. PJPs started by religious orders keen to preserve the mission and Catholic identity of their ministries that they worked so hard to establish and sustain. So why did religious orders choose to set up new PJPs? Encouraged by the Second Vatican Council's emphasis on leadership of the laity, and faced with declining numbers and the growing complexity of operating in the non-for-profit sector, many religious orders looked for new ways and new structures to continue their mission. PJPs in health in the United States paved the way in the early 1990s and were established as alternative governance structures. The Sisters of the Good Samaritan were conscious of the need to find a sustainable structure for a new entity to take on the responsibilities of their ministry of Catholic education. A significant process of discernment, research, and dialogue was undertaken to ensure the dreams and aspirations of the Sisters' ministry were preserved and yet flexible enough to continue to respond to the signs of the times. This culminated in the establishment of Good Samaritan Education in July 2011. And you can hear more on the reflections of that unfolding story in the Communio Calling podcast, 10 Years Along This Way of Life and Faith with Terry Craig and Kay Hersey, or read Journey to GSE by Sister Mary McDonald. What does it mean for directors of incorporated bodies like our schools to be governed by a PJP? Firstly, there is the sacred task of ensuring that the mission and charism of the founding sisters is treasured and nurtured, and that the ministry remains Catholic in all respects. Secondly, it is important to understand that PJPs exist under canon law, or church law, as part of the Catholic Church. Thirdly, ministerial PJPs are predominantly lay entities, allowing lay, that is, non-clerical leaders, to lead church ministries. Hence, directors are leaders of church ministries with additional expectations from directorship in commercial organisations. Finally, there is an added responsibility of working with the bishops in the diocese in which they operate, and an understanding of the reciprocal rights and responsibilities of all concerned. Taking on a governance role, being a steward in a ministry governed by a ministerial PJP, and in particular Good Samaritan Education, is a call to a different type of leadership. One that is alert to the signs of the times, willing to work and advocate for the most vulnerable, and responding daily to the question, who is my neighbour, with mercy and compassion. The work of ministerial PJPs has become a vital work of God's mission to the world.